Hey team, this is the 14.0 planning or refinement rather kickoff for the verify testing team. I have up and I'm sharing the 14.0 planning issue, which I just did some refinement on myself. This milestone kicks off May 22nd, goes through the 21st for the 6.22 release. You can see our capacity, how we're trending, doing pretty well. But then I want to dig into the milestone theme for this. In this milestone, this is a major. We're going to enable all teams to enforce test coverage requirements through merge request approvals. So we're going to use that existing mechanism so that this is available for all tiers, core being a optional merge request approval if test coverage is set up that it shouldn't be able to decrease. It has to stay or increase for a merge request to merge as the result on the branch. And then we're also going to focus on delivering breaking changes that we've previously communicated, renaming the default browser performance testing job and updating the default code climate RuboCop engine. That'll break some support for some older versions of Ruby. I wanted to call out a couple other issue types as we start our refinement. The 4 bugs that I have right now scheduled into the milestone, the code quality MR widget, status of the port not being taken into account. This is a bug that we found as we were vetting the new code quality MR diff work. So this should improve when we show that there's no code quality issues found versus no report found, make that user experience a little bit better. The code quality issue with Docker Hub rate limits, we've kicked this out a couple of milestones now. So let's dig in and figure out what our next minimum viable change is here, even if it's documentation, so we can start to make some better traction on this for the users. Test report API not being consistent. We're using a jQuery endpoint as opposed to loading up results of the report itself in 2 different places. So the experience isn't exactly the same. So we'll get that consistent. And then the last one here, this code climate widget struggles, or the code quality rather widget struggles with big .json files. As we've moved that comparison into the backend, I want to take a look and see if that's still the case. So we should be able to replicate some really big, 20, 30 meg JSON files and have them loaded up and compare them in the backend, see if there's still that struggle on the front end, slow loading. Technical debt issues, we only have 1 feature maintenance issue so far. It's a follow-up to the community contribution adjusting the badge key text. So as we identify more, let's get those tagged to get to our target of 20% of our velocity is feature maintenance issues. And then a couple of the user experience debt issues. The test report screen doesn't work well with matrix IDs or when using matrix builds. Miranda, I think, did a great job identifying an MVC to fix that experience that will apply to both the test summary widget and the test report. So that's great. And then our next iteration, cleaning up the code quality MR widget so that things are grouped a little bit better. And this is, we've already sorted by severity, which is a great iteration for us. Next, within that, we're going to then sort by file itself so that you can see all of the criticals or majors or minors, whatever it is, by file. So that as you're digging into one, you're not hunting around through the list, looking for all of the things that you can address in that file. It's just a single chunk of stuff that you can pay attention to. So that is where we're at in the refinement today. We don't have OKR alignment as we're still sorting those out for the quarter ourselves, but as soon as those are there, I'll put them in. So start taking a look, scrolling through these issues. The link to the board is there so you can get in and start looking at stuff. Ping me with questions or ask in Slack. Thanks.